Hey all, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. I'm Darren, and today we're going to do something I don't think I've done before. I've cooked some picanha before, and I've actually shown you the difference between tri-tip and picanha, but I'm actually going to talk about the Costco beef loin top sirloin cap. And see, is this really picanha or not? I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright all, one of the things I want to talk about today is I rarely ever see this at my Costco, and usually what they will have is they'll have the whole top sirloin subprimal without the cap. It'll say cap removed. So what that normally is just the top sirloin section, and this part here, which is called the top sirloin cap, otherwise known as Coultte, sometimes known as picanha, they take that off, and they usually, I don't know what they do with it, because I've never, hardly ever seen it for sale at my local Costco. So either they take it and ship it somewhere else, or they grind it into ground beef for some odd reason. But I finally found some at my local Costco for just the caps. And don't let this fool you, there's actually 2 caps in each of these packages, and these are both prime rated. But one of the things we're going to talk about here is whether or not this can actually be called picanha, because first thing is, it is the whole top sirloin cap. Second thing is, unfortunately, Costco, when they run this through at the processing plant, and this is done at the processing plant, not at the local stores, they remove most of the fat cap off of this. And as you guys know from looking at other videos or eating at Brazilian steakhouses, picanha usually has a good bit of fat cap still left on. So that's kind of what I want to talk about with you guys today. Can it be really considered picanha? Is it Coultte steak? Is it something else? I can tell you one thing, it is delicious. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead, break these down, take them out of the package, cut them up, and kind of just talk about what we can call it. I'll be right back. We'll get this out of the package.
Alright guys, I wanted to show you this picture right here of Snake River Farms Wagyu picanha. And if you can see that big fat cap on top, that's one of the things that makes picanha picanha. So we're going to take a look at what comes in the Costco pack right now.
Alright, I want to show you what these actually look like now. So like I said, the main thing with picanha, if you notice on any YouTube videos, or when you go to a Brazilian steakhouse or you see them how to cut it, they have a really good fat cap. But unfortunately, for some reason, Costco removes the whole fat cap on their top sirloin caps when they sell them. So this is what I got. Mostly this is just silver skin and just little pieces of connective tissue. There's some little bits of fat here and there, but none of them have any kind of good fat cap at all. So technically you really can't call this picanha, because picanha is actually a very certain section of the top sirloin cap, and it has the big thick piece of fat cap on there, left on there. So I'm not going to call these picanha going forward. You can. I mean, I really don't want to get into the technicalities of it, and I really usually don't care. The meat is going to be what the picanha comes from. You're going to be missing the fat cap, but you will get the same tenderness. Because this whole thing is not picanha, just a certain part of it between the first and third veins, from what I understand. So that's what we got here. Unfortunately, Costco does remove that fat cap. But another thing that the Costco does, most of their beef that comes into Costco is not aged at all. So usually when you go to pick it up, it's less than a week from slaughter. So I mean, they hang it for as little time as they can. They don't wet age it at all. So I've actually wet aged these 4 roasts for another 2 weeks since I bought it. And to wet age it, you just leave it in your cryovac pack and stick it in your refrigerator under 40 degrees and just let it sit there for a couple weeks. 2 weeks is great. You can probably get it out to 3 if you want to, but I try to do it like within at least 2 weeks. And what that does is it helps those enzymes that are inside the meat break it down, make it more tender, get a little bit more flavor to it. So that's all you're really doing when you're wet aging. You're breaking it down, trying to get it a little bit more tender and a little bit of flavor to it. I'm going to go ahead right now and just show you how I'm going to trim these up, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these into steaks. I really prefer buying these whole subprimals, and get a good grip on it. Buying these whole subprimals and then cutting my own steaks, because another reason why I don't like buying steaks at Costco is that they do blade tenderize, and if you've ever bought steaks at Costco, it says it right on there that they're blade tenderized, and that you need to cook them at a hotter degrees because of that. So I always recommend people buy these whole subprimals sections because they are not blade tenderized. And actually this one looks pretty good. It wasn't too bad with the silver skin. As you can see that I got most of that off of there. We'll just get 1 or 2 little pieces, and that's it. I'm going to do the rest of these and I'll be back. Alright guys, I got all 4 of my top sirloin caps roasts, or Coultte roast is what technically these are called. I got them all trimmed up. Got most of that silver skin off. If you see any left when you're done, you can just, it comes off pretty easy. Just try not to remove a whole lot of the meat, like I said. And this, out of all 4 of those roasts, this is the amount that I got off. Some of these pieces, I wasn't able to save much. I had some of the meat on there pretty good. But most of that, like I said, is silver skin, less than 1/4 pound out of all 4 of these roasts. So, but like I said, unfortunately the way Costco processes these at their processing plant, not in the store, they pretty much take all that fat cap off. So technically the picanha at Costco is just Coultte steak or top sirloin cap. You can't really call it picanha if you want to get technical. Just like top round is usually what they make London broil with, but London broil is a cooking method. A lot of people will call top round London broil, but technically London broil is a cooking method. So, but picanha is cooked a certain way. It's a certain part of the top sirloin cap, and it has a good fat cap. So you really technically can't call this picanha. But will it taste just as good? It'll be pretty good. That fat cap will be missed, but you definitely can have some good meat off of this. Alright, so usually the grain will run this way, and as you can see, this is kind of like a triangle. That's why people confuse picanha or top sirloin cap with tri-tip, because it's kind of a triangle. But you got to watch and see which way the grain runs, because when you cut these into steak, you want to cut them with the grain. You can make them as thick as you want. I'm going to go ahead and make them right at about 1.5 to 2 inches thick, and pretty much you're going to cut one from the wider end here, and then I'm just going to put it right on top of the next section. Cut another one. Now if you watch any of other like Guga's videos from Guga Foods or Sous Vide Anything, he'll tell you that this section here and here is not really picanha because it's not as tender. But like I said, It's all semantics there. It's still going to be good meat, and we're still going to cut these into steaks, and we can still cook it the same as picanha on a spit. You're going to usually have one little piece that's kind of an oddball piece, but that's how you do it. You cut with the grain, and usually what you do is you put these on a spit like that. Spit goes in like this, and then when you're actually cutting this up to eat it, you're cutting it against the grain, and it's nice and tender. So that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to cut the rest of these up, and then I'll come back and show you how I'm going to season them before I throw them into a vacuum sealer bag for storage. And we are going to cook some up tonight, so I'll be right back. Alright, I got these all cut up. As you can see, they're all pretty uniform as far as thickness goes. They got some pretty good, some of these have some pretty good fat in there within the meat. And that's kind of what you're looking for, because that's the flavor. Like I said, we still technically can't call this picanha because of the fat cap and the way it's cut, but hey, this is going to be pretty good. I am going to go ahead and season these all up with Fresh Jack's Keto Chop House and some Fresh Jack's Mesquite Lime Sea Salt. We're going to do a little bit because this the Keto Chop House does not have a whole lot of salt in it, and I want some of this flavor from the Mesquite Lime salt in here from Fresh Jack's as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to season this whole pack up, then we're going to throw them in the individual vacuum sealer bags. I'm going to cook some up tonight for dinner, 130 degrees for about 4 hours, then we're going to sear them. And the rest of them we're going to put in the freezer for another day. So I'm going to go ahead and just start seasoning these up, and I'm going to be moving these all around, getting the seasoning all over them, and then we're going to put these in the vacuum bags, cook them up, and the rest will be in storage. So I'm going to finish doing that. I'm not going to bore you with that. I'll show you how I'm going to vacuum seal them up in just a few minutes. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I got all my picanhas all vacuum sealed up. I actually threw a pack of them in here for dinner tonight. 129 for about 3.5 hours or so. Then I'm going to sear them up on the PK grill. I'm using my Keto Chop House and Mesquite Lime salt from Fresh Jack's. Probably the next video clip you're going to see is me cooking these up. And then I'm not going to do a taste test on them because that's going to be it for today. I just wanted to kind of show you the Costco top sirloin cap roasts. Okay, can't call them picanha because of the fat cap, and technically only part of the total top sirloin cap is picanha, but it's going to be great steak no matter how you slice it, how you season it. Really do wish that they had the fat cap on them, but these are going to be pretty good anyway. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow the Fire and Water Cooking Podcast, and we'll discuss things like this. I'll see you again on the next Fire and Water Cooking video.